What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I would like to thank all the new subscribers who have come by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated, right? But let's get right into it. This Sunday, the Knicks played the Philadelphia 76ers and lost today to the Philadelphia 76ers 125 to 109. Joel Embiid and just James Harden were too much, man. Too much of an all-star combination, man. James Harden looked like he was back at the Rucker. He's doing a whole bunch of nice passes, cutting, getting a lot of fouls drawn. That two-step is dangerous, man. That step back, he's got the total package, and Embiid is just, he's going to probably want to be an MVP this year. Our bigs just couldn't contain him. He's just too much down there, too much of a presence. He has too much skill. He's like a bigger version to me of the Dream, Olajuwon. He's got all the moves. He's got the skills. He's a legit big man. He's just tough. He's just tough down there in that Baja. He fouled out both our big men, Big Sims, and of course Big Mitch. And we struggled after that. We just couldn't really, of course, protect the paint and protect him. Everything that he was doing. So many fouls that were being called during the game. The Knicks just were struggling. We couldn't keep him off of the line, man, off of the free throw line. Let me just kind of look at the stats. I believe he was, look at that. He went to the foul line 27 times. He was 23 of 27. That's pretty much majority of his 37 points right there, right? So, the Knicks tried their best, man. But, what I do like is I like the effort that they put today. Who I loved. And I love to see that IQ was pretty much coming back into his own. But that's because IQ just put his head down and just started scoring. Just being the old IQ. He played really, really well tonight. He poured in, I believe he had 27 points. Let me just make sure I got the stats correct with IQ. So I don't want to give you guys the wrong stat line. But, IQ, he played great. He played 26 minutes tonight. He got 21 points, man. He played great coming off the bench. For me, I think everybody was solid today. Just was Embiid was a monster. But I love Big Sims coming off the bench, man. I love his activity. He was kind of making things hard for, Embiid, Embiid in the first half. And he was, had moments to where he was like a spark plug for the Knicks. He had 10 boards today, which was great. I think he might have had a little bit more than that. Let me just make sure I got that correct. Yes, he had 10 rebounds today. 7 defensive, 3 offensive. I like the fact that when he goes up for offensive rebounds, sometimes he tries to knock it out to give the offense another possession. Just young, but you can see him getting better. You can see him getting better each game. But once again, you got to play in order to, get better, right? Also, too, I saw Cam Reddish, little flashes of him being aggressive in the first half, going to the basket. He looked good. I love his defensive intensity as well. Had a couple of steals as well. Just active. He's long, man. He's a 6'8" wing. You got to get him out there. I've always felt that, I've always stated that, once he got here, he should be getting most of Burks' minutes and Fourier's minutes. I just think that he deserves that. He's just, that much too much, as far as the upside goes. I think Fourier and Burks have reached their ceiling. And at this point in the season, like I stated in my other videos, the Knicks should be thinking about what they have as far as the youth. And those guys should get a lot of minutes, right? Don't get me wrong. I think RJ should still play a lot. I do think Julius should still play a lot. They still have to develop. But the younger guys should get a lot of minutes. I do think that McBride needs to be playing a lot more than what he is because he's not playing at all. I don't know why Tibbs won't play him, but he needs to develop as well because as you see, Big Sims, he's playing better, looks more comfortable than he did the other night, doesn't look as nervous, just a little shell-shocked, as they say. But, he played well. I just like his energy and I just like, what he brings. One issue I do have, on top of many issues, is I just don't like how Tibbs, man, he's just quick to yank these guys out. Remember, IQ made a mistake, and automatically he looks to the bench and calls Alec Burks and just snatches IQ out. You're not going to learn like that. You're not going to get better and become a better player if you make mistakes and then the coach is quick to pull you out. This is not high school, okay? So you guys are pros. So, this part of the game. They're playing against other professional athletes who are also just as good at their craft as they are. So at times they're going to make mistakes. That's just part of the game. But you got to allow them, because he's a young player, second year, to play through that. Right? That's the only way he's going to learn to where he doesn't make the same mistake again going forward. But yanking him out just because he's making one bad decision, it's not going to help him, man, as far as development goes. So I didn't like that. Also, too, there's a couple of times in there, I just didn't like how, if you see how the team breaks down at the end of quarters, right? Also, too, how they struggle in the fourth to close out games because they were right in this game. The score is not indicative of what the game was. The game was fairly close. The Sixers were going their runs and kind of be up by like 8, 9, but that's where they kept it 8, 9, 10. Knicks would cut it down to 5 or 6, and then the Sixers were kind of so the Knicks were in this game, and then of course the Knicks took the lead. I believe the lead was 96-93. I believe it was. So the Knicks were playing good. IQ of course spearheaded that, but they were very active, very aggressive. I love the energy tonight from the team, but just you had the other MVP over there, man. Embiid is just a monster down there. 7-footer, as active as he is, like I stated earlier, he's hard to maintain, man. You can't do nothing with that. If they're giving him every call like they were giving him, he's putting pressure on the defense. Guys are fouling out. You don't have the numbers and the big men to come in and really try to slow him down, right? Because it didn't matter who was on him; he was going to do what he wanted. But all in all, man, I like what we have. I like our young pieces. I thought RJ looked good today. He's still got to get better on that free throw line. He's got to work on that free throw. He's missing way too many free throws. Once again, also too, we've stated this time and time before. Tibbs, man, you got to get the ball out of Julius's hands. Like he's causing too many turnovers. Like he's got to get the ball out of his hands. All right, we continue to say that. If we're saying it, I know other teams are saying themselves like, why does Tibbs allowing this guy to bring the ball up? He's not a point forward. Like you're hurting his game. You know what I mean? You're hurting his game by him doing that, right? There's a difference if someone's pushing it and they're giving it to him on the wing and he drives to the basket and lays it in. That's something different than him bringing the ball up, trying to start the offense. Like, no, he was getting stripped like crazy, making bad passes. And, he's got to, you got to, but once again, I put that on coaching. I put that on Tibbs. He's got to really come in and give direction here, not just sit and let him do whatever he wants. He's not that type of player. He hasn't earned that much juice yet to be able to do that. You got to still hold him accountable. Like you said before in your press conference, he's still a very young player, right? He's still developing, so that means he needs direction. You got to give him direction, Tibbs. That's the only way he's going to get better. But if you sit there and just let him do what he wants on the court, he's going to continue to do. It's like the definition of insanity. He's continuing doing the same stuff over and over. There's no correction, man. There's no change. So, that's the frustrating part about that. But one thing I can say, I love our energy. I love how hard we're playing. They were in the game tonight. That's like most of the games this year. The Knicks, like I said, the Knicks haven't been getting blown out all season. A lot of these games are winnable games. They just got to learn how to close it out, right? And to me, that's where, I think leadership comes into play. I think a new voice is needed. Guys respond to things differently, right? So you have to have a guy in there that's able to show them and put them in the right situations to learn how to close out games and to learn how to, when you have a team on the ropes like this, you close out the show, no matter who they have. Once you're able to do that, you know how to run a legit offense to get your hot hand some shots, or you run a perfect pick and roll and you know exactly where your mismatches are, that's when you're an elite team. And that's what, believe it or not, the coach should be an elite coach and should pretty much, be able to come in and help a team be able to get that as their identity, right? But, Tibbs is just still stubborn and stuck in his ways, man. You know what I mean? He reminds me of like Larry Brown. You see what Larry Brown is at, right? He's in college, man. They ran him out the league because he was too stubborn and stuck in his ways, and he just could not change. You know what I mean? And I just think that, my opinion, Tibbs is in that same category, right? Because I just see certain things that he does as a coach, like I mentioned before, that is really hurting this team. This team is a lot better than what's on paper. Excuse me, not what's on paper, but what they're showing and how they're just not able to close games and, just make the decisions that they're making with the ball and on the court and stuff like that. Like, I just think that, it's frustrating, but, you got to look at leadership. You know what I mean? Leadership comes from the coach. You know what I mean? People in that, on the bench, people in management, all those things. They really have to realize it because, I think we do have the players. So, we got to see where this thing goes, man. But, the road doesn't get easier. It gets tougher. Let me see who we have next. Just let me kind of bring this up. I think we have... Let me just make this quick. Sorry, guys. Oh, look at that. We got the 76ers again at Philly. You know what I mean? So uh, we get a double dose of Harden and Embiid. So hopefully we'll see. Like I said, hopefully we'll see McBride during that time. But it should be a tough one, man, because we got to go to Philly. So that's a tough place to play, and then playing against who I think is going to be the MVP again this season. It's going to be a tough one again. But we were in this game, and I thought we had ways to pull it out. So hopefully we can pull out the next one. All right. Well, listen, guys, that's my show. I appreciate you guys coming by. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. All right. Also, too, if you can, leave comments, man, so we can go back and forth and we can debate. All right. That's my show. I'm LV Live, and I'm out. Peace.